What's good, everyone? Welcome back to the PWD channel where we discuss professional wrestling. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about the February 24th, 2023 episode of Friday Night SmackDown. This was an okay episode, nothing too crazy. There wasn't any extremely good matches or anything that's worth going out of your way in terms of matches to see, but there were some good segments, especially the main event segment. And I want to talk about what's next for this Bloodline feud. The show started off with, the main event segment, that's what we're going to be talking about, started off with Jimmy Uso coming out, and they've been teasing this whole day that he's going to set Jey Uso straight. They had some segment in the back locker rooms. Usually, you know how they're always in the back. The Bloodline was in the back, excluding Roman Reigns, who wasn't there this week. They were talking to each other, and basically, at some point, Paul Heyman got a text from Roman saying that, Jimmy, if you don't set your brother Jey straight this week, I'm going to come out and do it next week. So next week is going to be huge. But that's what they said this week. Jimmy said, I'm going to set him straight this week. Jimmy comes out, he's starting to cut a promo. He's basically talking to Jey, and he's saying that, Jey, I know the bloodline. I know we have problems. Some people are saying there's cracks in the bloodline, but these problems can be solved. Just come out here and stuff. But he doesn't come out. Sami Zayn comes out the same exact way he's been coming out for the past few weeks. Sami Zayn comes out, takes off the hood, and he's straight. And as soon as Jimmy sees him, Jimmy is pissed off. Jimmy looks mad. He looks like he wants to kill Sami right then and there. But he doesn't. Sami Zayn grabs the mic, and Sami Zayn, the first thing he says is look, Jimmy, I don't want to fight. I'm not out here to fight. That's not what I want. I'm not out here to pick a fight with you. I just want to talk. And then Sami pretty much goes on and says, I am hurt by what you did. I am hurt by how you treated me. I've hurt, and I'm so hurt more than anyone else. I'm hurt because you, before anyone else in the bloodline, before Jey, before Paul Heyman accepted me, before Roman accepted me, you were there for me, Jimmy. You were the first one to bring me in and appreciate me. You were there for me, Jimmy. You were there for me, and you wanted me to succeed. You saw what nobody else saw. But then the moment that everything happened at Royal Rumble, you were the first to turn your back on me. And Sami pretty much says, Jimmy, I am so hurt. You want to talk about this brotherhood that you have. You called Jey your brother, and you called everyone else in the bloodline your brother, but that's what you used to call me, and I'm hurt. And he's going off, but then Jimmy interrupts him, and Jimmy starts screaming at him. He's like, bro, this is your fault. You did this to yourself. You can't be mad at me for this. You did this to yourself. You're so damn selfish for thinking that way. You were the one who pulled the trigger. You put yourself in this situation. We had your back. We were family to you, but you did this to yourself. And then Sami Zayn interrupts him, and Sami Zayn starts screaming back, and Sami's saying this is not, you say family, but family doesn't come out here and manipulate you every single week. Family doesn't come out here and question your loyalty to them. Family doesn't come out here and basically treat you like shit every single week and just manipulate the hell out of you, just like they did to me, just like Roman has done to me, and just like they did to your twin brother Jey. Just exactly like they did to Jey. And then from these two are talking in the ring, but then from the stands, Jey comes out, and Jey is just looking. He's watching them talk. He's not getting involved, but he's sitting at the very top of the stands, and he's watching them talk. They continue to talk. Sami Zayn continues to cut this promo and saying, you have a way out of this. Listen to me, Jimmy. You have a way out of this. You can get out of this. I am going to take down the bloodline. You don't have to be a part of the sinking ship. Just like he said to Jimmy 2 weeks ago, he's saying this to Jey now. Just like he said to Jey 2 weeks ago, he's saying this to Jimmy now. He's like, you have a way out of this. You don't need to be part of the sinking ship. He continues to talk and say about how he's going to take down the bloodline. But then Sami gets distracted by Jey, who still hasn't moved, but he gets a little bit caught off guard just to see what he's doing. And while he looks at Jey, Jimmy hits Sami with the mic, knocks him out, and then that's the moment he starts beating down on him too. And when he starts beating down on him, that's the moment Jey starts walking down towards the ring. Jey starts walking down towards the ring. Jimmy's beating down on Sami, and then after Sami's knocked out for a little bit, Jimmy goes and he's yelling at Jey to come to the ring. He's like, dog, come over here. Please, just come over here. We need to talk. Please come down here. And he's doing that in the corner of the ring. And then out of nowhere, Sami gets back up and hits the haluva kick onto Jimmy while Jey is still walking towards the ring. That was crazy. Jimmy got knocked out cold by the haluva kick. Sami Zayn is sitting there in the ring. He's staring at Jey, but then from the back Solo wasn't involved at all. He stayed back there with Paul Heyman during this segment. Solo runs to the ring. Sami flees. Sami takes a look at Jay, and for a little bit they have some eye contact, and they even replayed this on commentary. There was some eye contact between them. I guess just to make sure they were cool or something. Jay didn't do anything to Sami. Sami didn't do anything to Jay, and that was it. They dipped. They walked out of there. Sami walked out a separate way from where Jimmy was. Sami walked out into the crowd, but not anywhere near Jay. Solo's there consoling Jimmy, making sure he's good. And the whole time, Jay doesn't get in the ring. He doesn't even step past the barricade. He's sitting at the barricade area, just staring at everything happening, but he never shows he never does anything. He never helps them out. He never does anything like that. So we're in this weird predicament where it's like, what is going to happen next? Where are they going to go next? And I'm going to give like some minor spoilers or like rumors, basically. This match has been planned for a while. It was supposed to be the Usos, Jimmy and Jay, versus Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn for the tag titles at WrestleMania. That was kind of the plan. That's what's been the plan. So I don't know if they're still moving in that direction. With the way that it's going, I'm really not sure what's going to happen. We're in this predicament right now where Jimmy, Solo, and Roman and Paul, obviously the four of them are all still heavily involved with the Bloodline with no intentions of leaving. Sami wanted to convince Jimmy otherwise, but you could tell that is just not happening. Jimmy's not having that. So there's that. Especially Solo and Jimmy, they are concrete. They are sticking with the Bloodline, no doubt. There's that. But then it gets to the point where obviously Sami's out the Bloodline. Kevin Owens doesn't want anything to do with Sami, but there's that predicament where Jay's there. And we still don't know where he wants to go. Is he going to align himself with the Bloodline, or is he going to align himself with Sami Zayn? It's a weird predicament. I personally think he's probably going to end up turning on Sami Zayn at some point, rejoining the Bloodline and defending the tag titles against maybe Sami Zayn and maybe Kevin Owens, probably Kevin Owens. I'm assuming that's what's going to happen because they tried to get Kevin involved. He hasn't gotten involved yet, but I'm pretty sure that's the plan. I'm pretty sure he's going to get involved at some point. So I'm thinking that they're going to go with Jimmy and Jay as the tag team at WrestleMania versus Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens, but you never know what's going to happen for sure. I think that's what's going to happen. You never really know. But yeah, that was the main event segment. It was a good segment. I just can't wait to see where they go with this. It's really intriguing, really interesting. I don't know where they're going to go with this. But yeah, other than that, honestly, there wasn't too much that happened on SmackDown tonight. There were some okay matches, nothing like really, really good. Charlotte Flair and Rhea Ripley, they had like a face-to-face segment, but Dominic came out and cut the longest promo for Rhea Ripley instead, and this was actually really interesting. Dom was like flirting with Charlotte Flair. He was like flirting with her. He was like calling her beautiful and stuff, and talks about how women are softer and delicate and stuff, but Rhea Ripley's not soft and delicate, she's strong. And he talks about how when like Rhea hugs Dom, it almost breaks his back. And then he's about to reference them having sex, like him and Rhea, but then Charlotte stops her because, Dom's always calling Rhea Ripley mommy. He's referring to her as mommy the whole time. And Charlotte is like, I have a real Latino man at home. And she basically makes fun of Dom for being a little bit, I guess, whitewashed. That's what us Hispanics would say. They would say whitewashed. And she was like, with a much thicker accent than you. And I don't know what you're talking about. And then it was just a really interesting segment. Dom was like, Charlotte, come on, I just wanted to come out here and talk. We have a lot in common. We're both second and third generation superstars. We're both better than our fathers. We're both, we have a lot to prove, but everyone thinks we're not. Everyone compares us to our fathers, but we're both better. And it was just a weird dynamic. It was an interesting dynamic. I really liked this promo. Dom was definitely flirting with Charlotte, and there was some tension, but Charlotte was not having it, and she was not returning any of the flirtation. At some point, Dom is talking trash about his father, Ray, and he straight up disses, like he says, like, my father's a piece of shit, basically. He says the same thing about Charlotte. He disses Charlotte's father, and that's when Charlotte gets pissed. She gets in Dom's face, and she threatens to kick his ass, and after that, Rhea Ripley comes out, and that's pretty much it. Rhea Ripley goes up to Charlotte as if they're about to fight, but Dom holds her back, and then they walk out. That was an interesting face-to-face. I thought that they were going to do a lot more between Charlotte and Rhea Ripley themselves, but they used Dom a lot, and I liked it because I didn't expect this. If they were to cut a one-on-one promo, I was not expecting this to be good at all, but they went with the Dominic route, and I actually really liked it. If you haven't seen the segment, go ahead and check it out. It's a really interesting one. There was a Firefly Funhouse segment as well. I don't really know what to make of it. It was cool, but I'm not really too sure what to make of it. I think that Bray Wyatt is probably going to go after Bobby Lashley because he was in that segment, not him himself, but his promo on Raw where he kind of dissed Bray Wyatt. He was in there as well, and the whole theme of the Firefly Funhouse episode was can you keep a secret, so I'm not sure where they're going with that, but can you keep a secret is one of the big ones. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Dom also interrupted Ray versus Karrion Kross. Rey Mysterio versus Karrion Kross. Dom came out, tried to interrupt the match, he did interrupt the match, and he made Ray lose, and he was bullying Ray afterwards. He kept pushing him, slapping him, getting in his face, beating him up, and Ray just refused to retaliate, and Ray walks off disappointed. Pretty sure that's where they're going for the WrestleMania match, which I am fully invested in. I cannot wait to see that, but other than that, there wasn't like anything crazy. There was okay matches on tonight's episode of SmackDown. Nothing bad, like by any means, there was nothing bad, but there was also nothing like spectacular outside of the main event. There was nothing crazy. It was a solid episode of SmackDown. If I had to rate it, I would literally just give it a middle of the road 3 out of 5. Would I go out of my way to watch it, or would I recommend you to go out your way to watch it? Probably not. Like, if you missed this week's episode, you really didn't miss much. Even the main event segment, yes, it was interesting, but nothing really progressed. We're still left with as many questions as we were before. So you could probably just tune into next week's SmackDown because they're going to inevitably show the recaps anyways. So definitely a missable episode of SmackDown, but it was still decent. Not bad by any means. Not great or good by any means. But yeah, 3 out of 5. That's pretty much going to be the end of this review. And yeah, we'll be back on Monday for the Monday Night Raw review, and I'll catch you guys then. I'll see you all later. Love you all. Peace.